Welcome back to another SAP Code Talk. I'm here with Sebastiano, an SAP champion, who's going to talk a little bit about his journey within BTP and just within the community. Sebastian, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Invite me here. It's an honor. And I'm Sebastiano. I'm specialized right now in BTP. Okay. My story starts from SAP V5 and Fiori. After I learned about CDS, HANA-DB. Okay. And after full stack with ABAP, etc. I started to work with SAP 7 years ago, and I'm really enthusiastic about the community, and I'm a supporter of this of all everything is SAP, and everything is a passionate of the technologies.
Nice. Now, as someone who has worked hands-on with BTP in hackathons and client projects, how do you explain the value of SAP BTP to new developers or like customers who are just starting their cloud journey?
Okay, for sure. Thank you for the question. I'm thinking about that in particular because I'm focused to share knowledge with new people in SAP. Okay, for that is new for them, and I want to say to them that sometimes SAP seems like a straight path, like a vertical path, but with BTP for the new developers, you don't have to think like that. For example, CAP project or using Node.js and Java, then it's like new technology. Or everything else, like you can use in BTP Python, you can use for create your model, AI model, etc. And this one is cool. And in the same way to the customer, okay, everything is new is in BTP, okay? As for HANA is solid, your ERP is solid, but everything SAP is doing new, like AI, machine learning, cloud computing, everything new technology. The Joule itself is made by with SAP as for HANA on also BTP. Then you need to use BTP to expand the technology and move forward to the news, etc.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It's just new technology, and with BTP, it allows you to be able to run smoother, especially with all the cloud going on now. So now I know that you had mentioned you do some mentoring junior developers, especially those that are new to SAP BTP. Now, what are the technical foundations do you recommend that they master first, and why?
Okay. My suggestion is like to start from right now. The hot topic is CAP. Okay, with CAP you can create front-end application. You can base like you can create a foundation for your backend. Okay, the technology the language that we are using usually is like Node.js. This is a technology that you can use for everything. Okay, any cloud, Cloud Foundry, for example, can be you can implement an application with Node.js. Is a technology is my favorite language because Node.js is JavaScript, and I think you should start from there. Another advice I want to give to everybody is approaching SAP BTP that helped me a lot is to learn and understand what are the destinations. Destination in BTP is like what permit you to connect with external, okay, system, service, etc. Okay, then learn what is a destination and use CAP. And of course, go to the developer side. Is really well made. There are like step-by-step guides where helping you to create your first app, not only your first Hello World, but your first CAP project. That is amazing.
Yeah, I've played around with CAP, and I can say that it is one of the tools that like someone who is learning and getting into the BTP ecosystem or SAP ecosystem would be really interested in learning. So then, as we know, like SAP BTP, it evolves really fast. So which services or like tools within SAP BTP, like workflow, business rules, or CAP, like do you think which services, yeah, which do you think like they are underrated or and should get more attention from developers, like workflow, business rules, or CAP?
Let me think about that. I I think for like underrated services, okay, I want to prepare a speech for one of the next SAP Insight track, and is about I'm not an AI expert, okay? I'm using AI and I'm learning AI with SAP right now. I cannot create model, but if you search, okay, there are two services that are like the document information extractor and the attribute now I need to remember the name, the attribute recognition. Okay, probably I mixed a little bit the words, but you don't need to know AI to use AI in BTP. Okay, for example, those two services, there are already AI inside that you just need to use the API, and SAP already provide the best for you. Okay, and they are already plug and play, and for me they are really really good. We are using in our project and they are incredible. And another service that for me is underrated is like create business rules with build process automation. Business rules is like for the old developers is like BRF plus, okay, in our system, and in the same time they you can create like custom. Let me say the customizing table in the BTP, and you with API retrieve the information. If you are like a user or advanced user, like how we call like a SAP citizen, you can just upload an Excel and like retrieve the information from your Excel. That one is, I think, is really cool.
Nice. Now, earlier you mentioned that you worked a little bit with ABAP. How do you feel with like ABAP in cloud? How do you feel with that within the BTP system and everything?
Okay. I want to say that I want to just specify something because sometimes we confuse that. When you said ABAP on cloud, a lot of people said, we have ABAP on BTP. Okay.
Yes.
But not all the time ABAP on cloud is on BTP. You can use ABAP on cloud also in your S4HANA. It's like a way of thinking, it's like a way of developing. Everybody's learning to do it. Don't be scared to make mistake in the
Yes.
beginning. You need to do your code. You have like a million of a million, hundred of custom function. Okay, start with one really simple and trying to translate inside of your system or with the trial of ABAP Cloud. Try to translate a little bit of that function and with new ABAP Cloud framework and thinking. Okay.
Yep.
That.
Yeah. Now, okay, looking ahead, what skills or like mindsets should we up and coming or should any up and coming SAP developers develop to stay relevant and not just technically with BTP, but in how they contribute to teams and the wider ecosystem in general?
Okay. Okay, I like this question. Okay, let's not talk about technology all the time. Let's talk about what we are doing, etc. Um, you know what? Uh, I take an example of my real story. Okay, I start as a computer science. Okay, I study computer science, but I didn't like develop. I didn't want to develop. I moved to the consulting world. Okay, but after consulting, let me love again. Permit me to love again because job is different than studying. Permit me to love again developing. Okay, and one of the first tip I made was in a SAP Insight track. Okay, SAP Insight Track, not only I found like people from other companies or other jobs, etc., but also people that were enthusiastic about SAP. Okay, I feel one of the skills you need to have is communication. Not communication in the sense you need to communicate good, but you need to create network. Be curious. Okay, and ask. Don't be scared to write a message on LinkedIn or in a sub community message to someone. Ask, share. Okay, love what you do or like what you do, and just these skills for me is important. Be curious, share, and ask. Don't be scared to ask. And sometimes you find really great people in the community that can help. And yes, this one is, and you can learn a lot. This one is my advice.
Now, you being an SAP champion, you have obviously contributed a lot to the SAP community, forums and everything like that. Now, for someone who is just getting into the community and trying to figure out answers and figure out where they can start, what advice would you give to them? Because you are a pretty extensive contributor. What advice would you give to someone to get them curious and get them started, or at least like get them to be active within the SAP community?
Okay, this one is a question that is correlated with what I said before.
Yes.
Okay, I continue my story. I've been in the first SAP Inside Track. There, I met a lot of people that were enthusiastic, okay, about what we were doing. I started to learn more about the community. First, I'm using the community to learn something new. Then when I'm searching something, I found the answer on the community. And there are some people, there was like their more repetitive name, okay, that I met in person. One of my heroes is DJ Abrams, for example. Okay, all the SAP advocates are great, but with the passion is
I'll
put.
let him know that. And
Yes,
if he's watching this, he'll know.
I already say to him, but all the passion he's putting to share knowledge, etc. Okay, and that helped me to be more involved on the community. Okay, it was like inspiring me, and what to do is really simple. You learn something, you see something, share with your colleagues. It's like sharing the trick, okay? Share with your colleagues what you knew. I have a chat with my colleagues that every blog we found, we share there, okay? And you start to share in between your colleagues. You start to share on your LinkedIn. You start to put like your first blog. It is fun, okay? Maybe you did an experience, etc. And you sharing is important. And from there, step by step, you maybe because I like it, okay, but see that people recognize it, and in any case, you learning from them. There is an exchange, there is a conversation. You learn something new. You did something in your project, they did something else in the end project. That one is for me like the key or the trick.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Being able to have those conversations with other people within the community is very helpful in being able to, get to meet new people, see events that are coming up, and just be a part of the SAP champions that you guys have been doing. And like SAP Inside Track is really a good way. And I love your story of just being able to go to an SAP Inside Track, getting more acquainted with others, and then taking it over after that. That's like amazing. And so I have one last question, and this is just a fun little question. So if there was a, I guess if there was a if there was a fruit that you believe, if there was a fruit that you could not live without, what would it be? Something that one little fruit that you couldn't live with, live
That's
without.
nice. That's changed all the time. They made me this question one time in one of my trip, but this question changed a lot of time. I will say like the banana, and because I'm a
Banana.
runner,
Okay.
okay, and I'm a runner, and all the time before the race they offer you bananas to keep to be strong during your run, etc. Yes,
Okay.
I love running, and yes, that one it would be the fruit I will never.
That's a good one. Banana. I always hear people say like grapes or mangoes, but banana's a good one too. I like
Simple.
that. Simple, exactly, simple. Well, thank you so much, Sebastiano, for allowing us to have you here for our SAP Code Talk and being one of our guests. And we're excited to, see what else you're up to. And I'm really excited to be a part of whatever you have going on, or be able to see all the stuff that you got going on within the SAP community. And thank you again for allowing us to have you as a guest for our SAP Code Talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.